Hey guys, Justin here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today I'm going to be taking a closer look at and installing Rough Country's retractable bed cover fitting all 2019 and newer Ram 1500s, equipped with the 5.7 foot bed and without the Ram box and without the multi-function tailgate. Now you should be checking out the Rough Country option for your Ram if you're looking for one of the most affordable retractable covers in the category that will offer things like an easy install, even easier operation, all at a very affordable price point and backed by a pretty stout 5-year warranty. Now, the Rough Country retractable cover is one of the newer additions to the ever-growing retractable category, and currently it's going to be one of the most affordable options you can grab, along with options from Barricade. Now, the Rough Country will feature a smooth operation thanks to the spring-loaded design that can either be fully opened or fully closed at all times. Now, that is a little bit different from some of your others in the category that might give you the ability to lock the cover at different points along the rails. Now, the canister in which the cover rolls does seem a bit smaller than some other options from companies like Retrax, for instance, that I've handled personally. And I think ultimately that will give owners a little bit more space in the bed when installed. But as always, if owners did need to remove the canister altogether, you totally could to gain even more access. Finally, guys, the protection the Rough Country will provide when installed is certainly another feature here, as the hard panel design combined with the lockable tailgate will make this a very secure option for both you and your bed cargo. Materials here for the Rough Country will be extremely solid, even considering the lower price point. Now, specifically, you are going to be looking at a 100% aluminum build for things like the clamp-on style rails in which the cover will ride on, the actual canister, and then finally the cover itself. Now, speaking of that cover, I did want to spend a little bit more time talking about its build or its construction, because it is unique in the fact that at its core you are getting a durable aluminum material, and that's great for protection, but that aluminum has been topped off with a thin layer of foam and then a thick layer of vinyl material. That is certainly going to provide a unique build and a unique look. Now, all of the aluminum on the Rough Country option has been given a UV resistant black coating. That's just going to help keep things looking good over the years. Now, I really do enjoy how the cover can be operated from either side of the bed. You can unlatch it, slide it back for driver or passenger side, and pulling it closed is made even easier thanks to the included strap. And that's not something you see on all covers like the retractables. Finally, guys, the Rough Country option is backed by a pretty stout 5-year limited warranty, just in case you run into any issues. Now, talking price point real quick here, guys, the Rough Country retractable, as I've mentioned now a few times throughout the video, is going to be one of the most affordable retractable covers on the site at the time of this video, coming in at or around that $1,100 to $1,200 ballpark price. Now, that is far more affordable from options like Retrax, Pace Edwards, or Roll & Lock. So again, if you have your heart set on that retractable design, the Rough Country is going to be one of your most budget-friendly options. But switching gears, let's get into our installation portion of today's video. The site is going to call this one a solid 1 out of 3 on the difficulty meter, taking you about 2 hours to complete from start to finish. But now, to give you a better idea of how this one might go down at home, here's a detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need a ratchet, 11mm socket, Phillips head screwdriver, and a trim removal tool. All right, today we're going to be installing a bed cover on our Ram, so let's get started. All right, now we're going to put our cover into place. You'll see a sticker that says cab side. We're just going to put that all the way towards the front of the bed. Just let it rest in like that. All right, now we're going to put our side rail on. We just have to pull our protective covering over our foam. That's going to sit on the side rail like this. Now the cover will slide into the groove here. There's a threaded portion here that this bolt will go through, but first it's going to go through the box underneath here. All right, we're going to guide the cover into the side rail. Make sure it's over top, all the way forward. We're going to grab our bolt, our lock washer, our flat washer, thread that in underneath. All right, we're going to thread the bolt in underneath here. Gonna grab our ratchet and 11mm socket and tighten that down. All right, now you go ahead and repeat those same steps for the rail on the other side. All right, now we just need to assemble our brackets. So we have a bracket that will lock onto our rail here. You'll see a little open slot here. It's gonna reach up under the back and slide forward. This groove here will lock into this circle here on the back. Make sure that you have this pivot point facing inward. All right, now you're gonna grab your handle nut. You're gonna put your block washer on first, flat washer, and then on the back side, there'll be this which we'll thread into. And put it through here, thread that in. And you go ahead, just get that snug for now, and do the same thing for the forward one. All right, now for the back brackets, there is this adjuster. This threaded portion here, not the one with the cap on it, will go through the bracket here. Leave it like that for now. On the other side, we're gonna go flat washer, block washer, and then our wing nut. We can tighten that down. And then you can just adjust this part here, in or out. That's just gonna make sure that the back stays even. Then we can tighten our handle nuts down. All right, now you just go ahead and do the same thing on the other rail. And then if you need to, just adjust a little bit further to make sure that the back is even. All right, now we're gonna put our cover on. You'll see the same sticker, it says cab side. That'll be the gasket that goes towards it. We're gonna flip it over, put it into place. All right, then we're gonna have 2 Phillips head screws on the other side. They'll go through here. All right, so we're gonna line up our 2 screws. Take our screwdriver and tighten it down. All right, and do the same thing on the other side. All right, now we're gonna install our drain tubes. We just have to pop a body plug out. So we're gonna grab our trim removal tool. All right, now we're just gonna push up the drain tube into the bottom of the box here. It's gonna be hard to see, but you'll see the hole in the bottom. Push that up. Just put the drain tube there. Do the same thing on the other side. All right, now we have a piece of Velcro that we're gonna put on the end of our strap here. You see a little section. So I'm gonna put that over, then pull our protective backing off our double-sided tape. You can secure it anywhere you want. This is just to make it easier to grab when the cover is all the way open. We're just gonna put it on the back here, right here. All right, and that wraps up our install of our Rough Country retractable bed cover for our 2019 and newer Ram 1500 with a 5.7 foot box and without the Ram box and multifunction tailgate. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.